plan A was actually came from Wes. It was really smart. It was really smart. I'm almost like, don't even want to say it because I may use it later if I ever do it again.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Challenge Reality News, where we talk about everything reality TV, including the challenge. And we're talking about All Stars Season 3, Episode 3. I got the lovely Kendal with me. How's it going, Kendal?
I'm good. What did you think of the episode?
Whew! Loved it. I was talking to you earlier, and I was rooting for you so hard during that challenge, and I want to talk to you all about that. But first, I just want to get your thoughts on, this is your third season going into All Stars. How is this different compared to the past two seasons, or was it different at all?
Yeah, it was totally different. It was everything about it was different. Number one, there's a handful of us who had done all three seasons. And so in the turnaround time from season 2 to season 3 was really quick. So somebody made a comment. I should stop reading the comments, but it made a comment about my cast picture, and they said, she looks really tired. And I was like, I am really tired. But how do you pass up such an awesome opportunity like that? You're never going to have the right time for things. And so when opportunities come up, you just figure it out. So yeah, there was a bunch of us who were exhausted, absolutely exhausted. And you could see it in my eyes. and I think some of us, like, our fuse was just a little shorter. Like, we just didn't have quite as much patience as we had in previous seasons. But also, you've got this blend of cast members, right? And so it was historically sort of the older, more seasoned people. And now you've got these spring chickens, and they're fit and they're fast and they're smart and they're quick and they're witty and they're fresh, and they didn't just do two seasons, and they're hungry. And so that was yeah, I had, I think, a little bit of a chip on my shoulder for that.
What was the turn? Because you said there was a fast turnaround. What was the turn? Like, how much of a break did you get from season 2 to season 3?
Yeah, well, some of us had more time than others, so yeah. I had a little bit more time. But I think all in all, let's see, we got back, maybe 8 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So that's, I think, about what I had. And so I think John A must have had like 4. And I'm just guessing. That's what I think it was. It was a really quick turnaround. And then not only that, but then trying to squeeze in all the time with your family really quickly before you go again. Yeah. And so, yeah, there's a little bit of, I think, guilt there too. It's like, I just got home and then I'm going to leave again. How do I tell my kids? And okay, it better be worth it if I'm going to go. And so, yeah, I think people had mentioned I seemed a little bitter or something in this last episode. So that's probably where that was coming from. Just a little bit of guilt.
I'm not going to lie. I didn't see any bitterness. And I think you're talking about, when they told you you're going to go into elimination, and you're a little bit upset about that. But I feel like anyone would be upset about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So, absolutely. They always say, I don't know why she's so upset, but then when it's them, they're upset. So yeah. But exactly. It was more so when I was talking about my family, I saw some comments of people saying like, oh, Kendal thinks she deserves it more because she has kids. I'm like, that's not true. It's just talking about my own individual sacrifice, like that weighed heavily on me. And I thought, if I am leaving my family for X amount of time, it better be worth it. And if I don't come home with a check in my hand to get those kids the trampoline that they want, then like I've failed as a parent. So it's just my own expectations of things, the pressure I put on myself, not really compared to like, I deserve it more than anybody else. We all deserve it. You know, every single person deserves an opportunity to advance their lives, period. So
100%, Kendal. So you're going into this game. It's known, like, and you know this, that you are a threat. You are a strong competitor. And when I say threat, I mean you are a strong competitor, and people know this. So going into this game, did you know that people would have their eye on you to try and get you out the game because they don't want to run a final with, you know, a strong competitor?
This is again where I get really conflicted, because it's a nice thought. Oh, I'm a strong competitor. I'm capable, sure. Strong competitor. Am I a threat? I just don't see that. And I'm 5'3". And they actually, in the swings challenge, they had like a short people leg, and they added a little block to the end so that we could actually touch it with our toes. so that everybody in that final leg, well, not everybody, I think there was a couple of height differences, but I think if you were 5'3" and below or 5'4" and below, you got a couple extra inches added so that we could actually touch it. But there's a big height. I mean, you've got Naya, who's 6 feet. And then you've got me, and I'm 5'3", and you're going to say I'm the threat? Like, I'm just like, I don't know. It doesn't feel genuine to me. It's like, just say, you don't know me. I'm not in your alliance. She's got to go. I don't like the whole like, oh, well, you're a strong competitor. I'm like, I've been in the top 6 one time. How are you threatened by that? Like, that doesn't make sense. I don't like the dishonesty. And it feels very patronizing, and I just, really gets
kind of like they're looking for an excuse to vote you in. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yeah. Just say what it is. Just say, I'm not on your team. You want me out. Okay, got it. Now it's a game. But when you say, oh, okay, well, you're a strong player, and I just don't want to compete against you because I want to win. It's like, you're a stronger player. You've been first, second every time. Like, how are you? What am I going to do? How am I scary? So I don't know. It's a nice compliment. I just don't believe it's sincere.
So I got to ask you, do you claim the name, the OG Barbie Beast? Because I think it was Jimmy who gave you that name. It was either season 1 or season 2. I can't remember. Yeah. But do you claim that name?
I mean, I am an optimist and a skeptic. And I don't feel like that was genuine either. The fans have run with it, which is kind of fun. Odd, because they don't really have a bald Barbie, so I don't know if that still sticks. But oh geez, Grandma.
Hey,
we got a Viking in the house.
How's it going? A special appearance from Kendal's son.
Yeah, say hi.
She wants the spotlight, Kendal.
I know, but he doesn't want to talk, which is odd. So odd.
In a couple of years, could we be seeing him in the Challenge, All-Stars, the next generation?
Oh my gosh, can you imagine?
Can you imagine?
He would be very entertaining, that's for sure, but I don't think my husband would even sign that release. Who's your favorite All-Star? Me? Oh. Somebody pointed out to me, they felt that that Jemmy was shading Jenna, right? Because Jenna was a Barbie Beast, and Jemmy and Jenna had beef. And so Jemmy took that name and gave it to me, and as a slight to Jenna. So I just don't want any part of that. But the way that the fans have taken it and ran with it, it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel, at least from the fans' perspective, they see this woman who some people might say, oh, she's small, she's not going to do well, but then you prove them all wrong. And I'm going to definitely talk about that a little bit later. But I want to talk about this Treehouse Alliance, and they are after you and Kellyanne. Before everything that went down, before you were nominated in 2 eliminations, Did you know these group of people were going after both you and Kellyanne?
Not when I watched it on TV, I thought, oh, okay, well, that's clear as day. It was not that clear in the house. And, you know, I had suspicions, being that everybody was rooming together. I did not know Derek was a part of it. That hurts my feelings. And, you know, there's some people in that room that I like. And we didn't have like an alliance or anything, but I was looking forward to spending that time with them and getting to know them and furthering our friendship. And so then seeing it all laid out on TV, just like, oh, wow, yeah, that's, we really are the target, aren't we? Mm-hmm. It wasn't that clear in the house. There were some people who were not very friendly, and so I knew that there was something there, but I had no idea it was the whole room.
Oh, well, who were the people who were not very friendly?
Oh,
if Benny. I can ask,
Benny, you know, I just. Yeah, didn't have a whole lot of interaction, I should say, with Kayla and Sylvia, and which was unfortunate because I actually really admired Sylvia, like, and her grit, and like I saw her and Melissa in the mud and how like strong and just amazing competitor she is. And she had like 102 fever at the time. It was incredible to watch. So I've just admired her since then. And I kind of got a little fangirly, like whenever both of them would come around, honestly. And after I'd have a drink, I'd be telling Kayla all kinds of things. Oh, my goddaughter loves you. And then like, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. Because they're like the young, like cool people. So I was a little bit intimidated. But there was just, I don't know, it was like there was this like wall or just something in between us. And they don't show it, obviously. There's no camera there, but on the bus ride to the challenge, that mud challenge, I asked Kayla and Sylvia, I said, if I can find a way to not use this on you guys in retaliation for using it on Kellyanne, would you be open to just getting to know us? I wasn't even asking for like a gameplay exchange. It was just, could you just be open? Because it just felt like there was a block there. And they're like, oh yeah, we could do that. And if you don't use the sabotage on us, we won't use it on you. So like, even better. and honestly, after that, they were a lot nicer to me. So before, it wasn't that they were mean necessarily. It was just that I'd walk into a room and we just didn't engage. It was like I didn't walk into the room, you know, and it was really weird. But after that conversation, I would come into the room, they'd be like, oh, hey, Kendal. I'm like, this is awesome. So it was really, you know, that's really what I wanted by using the sabotage the way that I did. Like, I wanted to like bring the women together. I didn't want to be a threat, you know, I didn't want to be seen as somebody who's trying to take you down. Like, I want everybody to do their best and everybody to have an equal shot. And so that was my thought. Let's take the pressure off the women. They're allowing me to use it on a man. So then I can even the playing field for the one guy that has the sabotage on him already. I give him somebody else to compete with, and I'm allowing an opportunity for the rest of the guys to do better as well. So I thought it was kind of a smart plan, and it would show me where the women stood, right? So if I'm not playing that tit for tat, if I'm not throwing, you know, that target right back, then it kind of shows their cards. And it did. I put my weapons down and they shot. So people have a lot of criticism about that, but I still feel like it was a good game move. My only fault well, maybe not only, but my biggest fault in that plan is that I should have gone to each guy and said, you know, this is what I'm thinking. This is how it will benefit you. Could you make sure that I stay out of elimination?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I should have done. But I've never played like that. I just cross my fingers and hope my friends like have my back. I've never like said, okay, we're going to do this together. Let's plot and scheme. I just never have. And that's something I'm probably going to have to learn how to do. And I think this was my attempt to try to put a plan in place and execute. It just wasn't fully executed perfectly.
I don't like giving my opinions when I do these interviews, but I'm going to give my opinion. I thought that was a brilliant move. I thought that was a brilliant move. One, it's an out of the box move. It's a move that no one's expecting, and it's not a safe move. And like you said, it shows everyone's cards. So I thought that was brilliant because you're not playing it safe. This isn't a game where you come and play it safe. You want to try and win. And I see where you're coming from. You wanted to try, and you know, by giving it to, and correct me if I'm wrong, but by giving it to a guy, you're having all these women on your side because you're protecting these women.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, you're protecting the guys as well. And what else I thought was very smart is you gave it to a guy who won last season. You know, as a viewer, I don't, and nothing against MJ whatsoever. I think he's a great guy. But as a viewer, I don't want to see someone who won last season win again. I want to see someone brand new winning. And I feel like a lot of viewers or fans would say that. So I thought that was a brilliant move. And I've been seeing on social media a lot of mixed reactions. You know, some people are all for it. Some people disagree with it. I saw on Twitter, and you said on the show that you had, you know, a plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. Can you go into that? What were your, if not MJ, what were your other scenarios?
Well, I knew I wanted to put it on a guy. Like I really did. And I kept, there's only a couple people who talked to me about, you know, what I was going to do. And like the bar, you know, and everybody's out and you've got your authority and everybody's scheming and making plans. Nobody was talking to me. Like everybody's talking to everybody else. I'm like, okay, well, and then I don't know. I think I kind of get a little miffed when I feel like I'm overlooked, you know, and that's when I think trouble brews, because I want to prove like I deserve to be there too. I should be somebody that everybody's talking to as well. And they really weren't. MJ kept asking me that night, well, what are you going to do? Who are you going to use it on? I was like, I don't know. I feel like I want to use it on a guy. He's like, no, that's not a good idea. And that's kind of what I want to do. So, and then he kept asking me, he's like, so I'm safe, right? I'm safe, right? I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I really don't. And I just know I want a guy. I don't know which guy. I don't know how it's going to land. I don't know what. And I really didn't know at that moment what I was going to say. Plan A, I mean, I don't know if I would have executed, I don't know, but my plan A was actually came from Wes. It was really smart. It was really smart. I'm almost like, don't even want to say it because I may use it later if I ever do it again. But I was stumped. I knew I wanted to use it on a guy. I didn't know how to select the guy. And I'm sure I was driving Wes insane, everybody insane in my room. So I'm like, I just don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what to do. And I said, Wes, tell me some things that people have done in the past. Cause I don't do these shows, right? I don't watch these shows. Like, what are some things? Like, I don't know. So there has to be something else. I feel like when you're trying to make a decision and it doesn't feel 100%, then you haven't found the right one, right? So I just keep searching. And all of a sudden he just starts giggling. I was like, what? And he's like, use it on me. I'm like, what? No. And he's like, yes, use it on me. He's like, yes, it's going to use it on me. So what if you beat him to it? What if you use it on me first? He's like, then he has to choose somebody else. And then it's on him and not you. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, I mean, that would be unfortunate for yes, But also, Yes didn't talk to me about what he was going to do with his. So it's not like I wouldn't be, I don't know, hiding something from him. He could ask me and I would tell him I'm going to use on Wes, but thought, somebody's volunteering, I should use it on them. But then when Jordan volunteered later on, I didn't. So I don't know. It's hard to say, but that was plan A. And then they asked Yes first, who he wanted, which I was kind of relieved when they did, because they didn't, want to upset Yes. But I thought it would have been a good, it would have gotten me out of a hole by just putting it on Wes. So, and I wasn't 100% with that. So I needed a backup. So I went to Brad on the way, like right after we got off the bus, before we knew what it was. And I just said, hey, Brad, desperate. Can I, because he's good at everything, can I use the Sabotage on you? And if it's something you feel comfortable, like if you feel like, okay, I can do well at this and not lose, because I'm not trying to make anybody lose. Could you let me know? And can I give you the Sabotage? And then whenever you have it, because he will have it, you can give it to me and I won't be mad. Like we'll just have a little exchange there. And he's like, I'm not really comfortable with that. And I was like, really? Because you're really good at lots of stuff. And he's like, I'm just not comfortable. So when you see his face, when I say I'm going to use it on a guy, and he's like, uh-oh, probably thinking, because I asked him, can I give it to you? And so he was probably surprised when he didn't. But that was plan B. Plan C would have been to put it on myself, because I wasn't sure. We didn't know what the Sabotage was, like how bad is it? So I thought, okay, well, I can wait and see what it is. But a 35-pound vest, weighted vest on a female is significantly different than a 35-pound vest on MJ. He's a big guy. He can handle it. He can run with that, right? It would like drown me. So, I mean, maybe not. I go hiking with my 35-pound kid on my back. So, but I wouldn't be able to play football in it, so it's a little different. So anyway, that was plan A, B, C. D, I mean, I was just kind of coming up on the spot going, okay, 35 pounds, how can I minimize the impact of 35 pounds? It's got to go to the biggest guy. And so I was looking down the line, and, Mark's the biggest. And as soon as I said all that out loud, which really annoyed people. So it's got to go to a big guy. And Mark goes, don't you dare put it on me, Kendal. And I yelled back, like, you just went into elimination. I don't play that way. So you're exempt, Mark. And so next biggest guy is MJ. And I'm looking, all across the line, and I see like my friends, I'm looking in the eyes of Nehemiah and Jarrell. And I mean, like, and then it's like, boom, 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 MJ. I'm like, and he was the last person. And I felt terrible because he looked right at me and he winked like, you got this, and then I'm like, oh crap, I have to say his name. Like, to me, that was the most fair. Mm-hmm. And he's like right behind me. Johnny's right here, and I scan it and he winks at me. I'm like, oh God, this is going to just hurt. And it did. So anyway, so that was plan D. And then somebody else gave me another plan. I was like, oh, that could have been a good plan E. But yeah, so that's it. This is how my brain works. Like I can't settle on one thing. There's 1,000 thoughts going at, very quick rates, trying to make it all make sense. And I can't, I just can't put all my eggs in one basket, because like, what if this happens? What if that happens? And I need to it's the anxiety. I got to be prepared. So yeah, I mean, I could have just said, okay, I'm going to throw it on Kayla. She's played football, like in high school. She was a football player. Like that would make sense. Let's try to slow her down. But I didn't want to play that way. Like I understand, like, yes, you got to win and do whatever it takes to win, but it just doesn't feel good to try to like cut people down so that you win. I don't know.
Well, like I said, Kendall, I thought it was a very smart decision, a very smart move, and either way it went, I honestly feel because like we saw on episode 3, they were after you and Kendall from the start, or after you and Kellyanne from the start, so if you would have put it on Jordan, or if you would have put it on Kayla or anyone, I honestly think they would have still come after both you and Kelly.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's like, so if I would have said Sylvia gave it to Kellyanne, so now I'm going to give it to Sylvia. They always, oh, that's it, we're going for Kendall now. Like they just needed a reason, but they were going to do it anyway. So for me to remove the attack, I'm not gonna shoot first. So let's see what they do. They were willing to make a deal, and it kind of just didn't work out anyway. So I was banking on whatever guy I thought maybe the guys would see that I was trying to help them, and that they would sort of pay me back by making sure I didn't go into the arena. Didn't work out that way, and so that's where I failed. Like I really should have executed that and been more challenge minded by saying like, here's what, maybe I don't disclose the full deal, but just say, hey, if I can help you, will you help me, kind of thing. And that's sort of what I was thinking when Jordan was like, Kendall, just give it to me. And I looked at him and I was like, nope. And he asked me later, he's like, why didn't you just give it to me? And I said, because I need you in there. Because Jordan was my roommate, and we got along swimmingly. Like he was awesome, and one of the few guys that I really felt like have my back. And so I needed him to do well, because I thought, he can look out for me. I just didn't make that like agreement, so I did appreciate that. And I felt like it sort of worked because, Jordan, although he didn't keep me out of the arena, he didn't vote for me. And Brad too, he didn't keep me out, but he didn't vote for me. And it would have been very easy for them all to just follow suit and say my name. And so to me, even though people are like, oh, burn votes, whatever, it's kind of like just voting for you. To me, it means something different, because you are like taking a stand in front of people. You're willing to risk like not going with them for nothing, really. I mean, they don't get anything in return for not saying my name, other than when it gets back to me, it doesn't hurt, So
no, I completely see where you're coming from. And I also want to talk about the challenge, because you were an actual beast in that. And I remember it was you versus Veronica, and Veronica's on top of you. You're struggling to get out, and you make it. Literally, I start clapping my hands. I'm like, go, Kendall. What was going through your head during that moment?
Honestly, like I was just trying not to pass out. She had a good like chokehold on me, and things are starting to my kids don't like to hear this. Things are starting to get a little I was getting a little lightheaded, and I was like face down in the mud, and I thought, I am not letting go of this ball. Like they're gonna have to pry it out of my cold dead hands, because I am not. I'm like prepared to pass out at this point, face down in the mud. And I'm like, okay. My husband last night, he was like, you had to have been freaking out. I was like, I really wasn't, because I was kind of just going to sleep because of the lack of oxygen that was going to my brain. He's like, well, that's scary. Like, well, I mean, but that's what happens. You just sort of get sleepy, and it's okay. But I was not going to let go of that ball. And it was kind of like a challenge to myself. Like in that moment, I was like, I wonder if I can do this. I wonder if I can get all the way down there. And so, I mean, we were going for quite a while, and I thought that was pretty cool to show the shot from above, like how far I had to go from the water to the finish line. And it was pretty cool. after that round, there was a lot of cheers. It was neat.
It was pretty epic, not gonna lie. It was pretty epic. So after the challenge, you know, Janae, she's pretty upset that you decided to sabotage MJ. Did you know that she would be so upset?
I knew she wasn't going to be happy. I didn't think she was going to be that upset. Especially because when I talked to her before, I was like, I didn't really know how to use it before I decided it was going to be a guy. It's like, if I follow in suit and put it on the second place person, just like Sylvia did, so Johnny, that would be you. And she's like, no, don't put it on me. And I said, I don't want to, but I need to I have to feel good about my reasoning for things. I don't want it to be emotional. I don't want it to be tit for tat. Like, I want it to be as fair as possible. I want to remove the emotions out of it and just try to be objective. And I really did not want to put it on my friends. So like, how can I do this as fairly as possible? So I had told Johnny, and then we were coming up with other ideas, and she's like, or I don't think you should use it on a guy. And I was like, but Johnny, otherwise it's you. And she's like, oh, don't. So, I mean, I don't know. I think part of me thought she would have not been happy. I didn't think it was going to take him out. I really didn't. And I forgot about his knee. So yeah, I didn't think it would take him out. I thought it would take him down and maybe out of the authority, but not out. So I did feel really bad about that because my plan backfired. And when I really think about it, it's the lighter people who did better because you're not sinking so far in the mud. So really, I should have given it to Brad because he was like a little water skipper. He was like, and he probably still would have been in the authority with that vest. Like, it was incredible to watch. But yeah, I felt awful. And as soon as I said it and I felt the energy from her, I was like, oh no. And I was super apologetic to her and MJ. And like, as the game was going, I mean, everyone will tell you, Johnny was invisible. Like, Johnny would come with the ball and we're all like, go ahead. Because I felt terrible. Kellyanne didn't know what I was going to do. And so then, it looks like she's tied to me and she's probably wanting to keep her distance from me at this point. So I think she had an opportunity to do something, to steal the ball from John A too. And she's like, I just let her go. So John A was invisible. Yeah, no, I felt really bad. I didn't think she was going to be that upset. And when we talked, she was like, yeah, I'm disappointed. My feelings are hurt, but it's fine. It's a game, whatever. And so to see her say multiple times on the show, like how pissed she was, it's like, dang it, like that sucks. So we've talked several times. I'm like, are you sure you're not still holding on to these feelings? Because I feel like maybe you are. She's like, no, I'm not. Like, okay. Because, things just kind of show up differently on these episodes and the wounds are being reopened and like, let's work through this. And she's like, Kendal, it's okay. I'm like, okay. So
yeah. Well, so John A and the rest, or a couple of them, they end up voting you into elimination. And you and Kellyanne, you have this really interesting conversation where you guys are saying you're playing the game too nice versus how the Treehouse Alliance is playing the game. Looking back, do you think you played, or during that time, do you think you were playing too of a nice game?
Yeah, I do. She made a lot of sense. And, I mean, I think I need to start throwing fits or something because, you think about that sort of stuff. Like, okay, who's not going to be mad if I say their name? Who's gonna, retaliate? And so, yeah, it might be easy for people to say me because I'm trying hard to play fair. I'm trying hard not to use emotions. And when really if I were just a little bit more volatile or scary or threatening or something, I don't know, maybe people wouldn't come after me. That's why I say, like, it sounds nice. Oh, she's a strong competitor, let's take her out. It's like, is that really what it is? Or is it just that you see me as an easy target?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where it feels like really insulting. Like, okay, so not only are you lying, but you think I'm believing your lie, which means you think I'm not only weak, but also naive and foolish. It's really insulting. So
yeah, I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
And so they pick you to go against Veronica. Say they didn't pick you. Who would you have liked to see go in your place against Veronica? Who do you think they should have picked?
Honestly, it made sense for me to go in because I was second to last, right? Mm-hmm. It sucked because the reason I was second to last was because they all ganged up on me. But I mean, their teamwork was incredible. If Kellyanne and I had gotten on the same page and played like they did, like, we could have done really, really well. We were lighter. We could have skipped across more. We could have thrown the ball. I mean, we could have done a really great job, but we didn't. And I think because I surprised everyone, myself included, with my choice, I think it totally threw off the whole dynamic. If I didn't have the sabotage to place, I think I probably would have been trying to figure out how to win that challenge, as opposed to being in my own emotions. Like, who do I choose? Oh gosh, now I feel terrible. I mean, I was hardly even thinking about what was going on. And it wasn't until, I mean, I felt like, oh, they're coming after me with the ball or whatever, but I didn't really know. When you're in it, like, you're just trying to survive, right? And so when Veronica and I were on the sidelines and I'm watching, and they're like, okay, you go stand next to Kellyanne. I'm like, oh my gosh, it was so like, they really, like, they knew what they were doing and surrounded her. And she kind of moved a little bit. I don't think she was aware. Maybe she was, I don't know. And so she moved, and then other people moved to her side. I mean, they surrounded her. And then it was like so obvious to me exactly what was going on. But before that, we kept hearing like, oh, these people want to work with you. You should be nice with them. You should have a conversation. So it seemed like, okay, maybe we just don't know each other very well. But everybody's open to working with each other. So it wasn't that obvious that they were coming straight for us. But in that moment in the mud pit, and I saw everybody, I mean, it was like shocking to me. So, yeah, but unfortunately, I mean, everybody played fair, and it was me and Veronica. So that made sense to me. I don't know. I couldn't say that there'd be somebody else that I would have chosen.
Yeah. So, you go into elimination and you find out that you don't have to participate in elimination. Say you did participate in elimination. Mm-hmm. Do you think, seeing how it went down with the guys, do you think you could have beat Veronica? Do you think that could have been your elimination to win?
I think it would have been close. Honestly, as I was watching them, I was thinking about training for Inferno. So way back when, what was it, 2003? I didn't know what I was about to get into at the challenge. I didn't watch it. I had no idea. And Veronica was really close with Rachel, and Rachel was from my season. So Rachel kind of put us in contact, and Veronica took me under her wing, and she's like, you got to work out. I'm like, I got to what? She's like, you got to work out. So she hired a trainer and let me like hop in on her training sessions for like minimal amount. She gave me such a deal. And those were like the squatting with the balls and stuff and shooting them up. That's what we did. And so I know that she's great at that. I know that Veronica is killer at a lot of things. And I know that she's very good at making it look like she doesn't care. Maybe she doesn't. I don't know. But she just seems like so relaxed about everything, that she's not really a threat, but she's fierce. And when she gets like in that competitive mode, like I don't know. It would have been really, really, really close. I've got a lot in my heart and that drive. And like I said, I was prepared to pass out in the mud before I'd let go of the ball. Like, I don't give up. I will try my best no matter what. But it would have been a really good matchup because we're equal height. You know, it's not like one person is taller having a shorter shot. So, I mean, it would have been good.
Yeah.
I thought we should have been able to play, and then for the stars, right? Because there was still stars out there. You got Jemmy's stars, you got Tina's like 70 stars that she earned. Like, I felt like, can we just try to play and see who gets their stars? But no.
Hey, I like that idea. So the reason why you guys didn't participate in the elimination is because, you know, two of the girls, like, it was so sad seeing both of them leave. Tina, because she broke her finger or her hand, and Jimmy, and she's with her family. Were you close with Jimmy and Tina in the house?
At that time, it was weird. I felt like we were so like on the cusp of things, right? Mm-hmm. And Jemmy was not very complimentary towards me after season 1. And so I had all kinds of mixed feelings seeing her. And she told me one night, she's like, I'm team, what'd she say? She's like, I'm here for Kendal's redemption. I'm here for it. And I was like, yeah, okay, we'll see how here you are for it. But I was really looking forward to seeing that support and getting to know her, giving her another shot. When I walked in there, I was nope. Jemmy is no, I want nothing to do with Jemmy. And just talking to her, I don't know. For me, she's like, you know, that the ex that you want to cut out of your life forever, and they come by and they smile at you and you're like, okay, we're good. That's Jemmy for me. So I felt like I was on the brink of this emerging friendship, and then she was just like gone. So I was sad for her family. And then like, but wait, we're not done. And then with Tina, I didn't care for Tina that much in season 2. It's like, who is this woman? This is not at all what I expected from Tina. And then I see her on season 3, and she's an absolute delight. Like, and I think because she had her people, she had her support, she was comfortable. Whereas season 2, it was like she just wasn't feeling very comfortable. So
hello, another special appearance.
This is Cooper.
Hey, Cooper.
This is Benny.
Hi, Benny. What do you think of your mom on the Challenge All Stars?
What do you think of the show?
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, you rooted for it?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
He roots for me to come home every time. Like, he wasn't very excited about the preview for next week on the building and seeing people drop. Mm-hmm. He doesn't like it when I do dangerous things. Let me finish up, okay? I'll be out in a minute. He kicked my butt in pool like 2 rounds in a row.
Very nice. Very nice.
But Tina, and I kept telling him, like, Tina, what's going on? Like, you are totally different than season 2. But I mean, she wasn't different. It was just that she was more comfortable. And I was really sad. And she was so funny. She had a broken hand, had no idea. And it wasn't even like her finger, it was like her hand was broken. She had no idea. She asked me to like pop it back in place. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm feeling her hand, and she's like, just pull it. So I pull it. I'm like, that doesn't feel right. That does not feel right. That's not locking. And she went to the hospital after that, came back in like this, I wish they would have shown her outfit. It was this like sequiny silver jumpsuit. I mean, looking gorgeous. And she's like, okay, see you guys. The cast on her arm, like, oh no. So it was really, it was, yeah, really upsetting to lose both of them in the way that they did in particular, but saved my butt. So thank you, Jemmy. Thank you, Tina.
Mm-hmm. And it seems like all three of you are on good terms now, because I saw something on Twitter where Jimmy said, she loves you, Kendal. And Tina, she said some kind words about you when it comes to, I think it came to when it comes to your decision with how you played the game against NJ. So that's cool,
Yeah. I don't think Tina saw sort of that mob mentality. I don't think she was really meaning to be a part of it. I think it was more so, okay, we're playing a game and we got to get this person out. So I'm going to get her out, and I don't think she was like trying to take on like, okay, let's all of us team up against these two people. I don't think that she knew she was sort of a part of that. Yeah, because we've had a conversation about it after, and she's like, if I had known that was going on, and I believe her. I don't think she would have put up with it for a second if she really knew that, they had it out for us from the jump.
Right.
And Jemmy, I just never really know what Jemmy, I don't know. It was really sweet. I hope she means it. I just don't ever know with Jemmy. I don't know.
You made it another day in the challenge house. We're rooting for you. Can't wait to see episode 4. I gotta ask you though. So you're back on season 3. If there is a season 4, I always ask this question: if given the opportunity, if you get that special call, are you gonna be down for a season 4? We've seen you 1 through 3.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people who are getting kind of sick of seeing the same faces over and over again. That would never be my deciding factor, but it's been like 9 months now since we did season 3. So I don't know. My kids cried when I went to LA for the weekend. I don't know. I don't know. But when you do those challenges and like you really get to push yourself and like see what you're made of and can you do it? And I mean, people would pay thousands of dollars to go do what we do, and yet they pay us. So it's hard to turn down something like that, to have that experience. So I really don't know. I don't know. And the houses keep getting better. So like, I don't even know what they're going to do next season, if there is one, but holy cow. I mean, that infinity pool, we had like 2 infinity pools. There was one up top outside the fitness center, and there was the main one. And I mean, it was unbelievable. And there were sloths living all around us in the trees.
That's pretty cool. And like you said, there are many people who would do anything to get on the challenge. So I completely agree with you. That's why I love the show. It's an amazing show. People love watching it.
It is amazing. And my husband, when we watched it last night, he's like, do you guys know that Mom went to 3 countries last year? I was like, oh, I did. And I mean, and that's cool. I mean, just the experiences that I've had have been absolutely unbelievable. And there are things that I'm learning about myself and changing about myself, just sort of working on, and the best way to do that is to see yourself. We get so used to being comfortable in our own skin that when we see a reflection that maybe we're not all that impressed by, it gives us an opportunity to evolve and change. And that can, change is tough, but it's also imperative and priceless. So
yeah. Well, I'm definitely loving, and I'm sure I can speak for the fans also. We're loving your evolution on the show. We love how you're kicking butt on the show. So we can't wait to see what happens next. I want to thank you for coming on and talking with me again. I always love talking to you.
Thank you, Benny. I was as soon as I see your name pop up, I'm like, yay, Benny. I was very, I don't know, kind of selective, I think, this past year about doing interviews and stuff. And I would never turn down an interview from you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. It means so much to me. And I've always been a huge fan of yours. So you saying that to me warms my heart. It warms my heart. Thank you so much. Do you want to give your fans you want to tell them where they can find you on social media so they can keep up with everything that you're doing?
Sure. I'm not on Twitter a whole lot, but when I am, my handle is Kendal Sheppard, and same thing for Instagram, Kendal Sheppard, 1L, 2Ps. And yeah, I mean, I just sort of share what's going on in life and the challenge on my Instagram. Some people like it. Some people probably don't.
Awesome. You guys can follow me on all social media at Vinny J. Adams. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Kendal. Can't wait for next episode, and I'll see you guys later.